Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you watching this video. I am Manat Sharma from Oliveboard, and I welcome you all to this free rankers batch that we have started for all of you. Today our topic is going to be RBI annual report, and we are going to cover a few MCQs, around 50 MCQs today, and around 50 MCQs in the next class. So we are going to cover annual report 2024-25, all the MCQs related to it. ठीक है? Good evening. Venkat Sai. Also, just let me know in the comment section whether my audio and video everything is clear or not so that we can have the class in a smooth and continuous manner without any kind of disruption. Okay? And before I begin, if you want to download this YouTube class PDF, you can do it from the Oliveboard app. Just go to the courses section in the Oliveboard app. Then YouTube class PDFs folder. There's going to be a separate YouTube class PDFs folder over here. You can download the PDF from here. Okay? Good evening, John. Good evening, Rahul, Sampath. Okay. Lakshit, good evening. चलिए, apart from that, if there is anyone new over here and you want to get daily updates about classes and all, then you can connect with me on Telegram. Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. आप वहाँ पे you can connect with me. ठीक है? Mannat Educator. Just type Mannat Educator, you will have access to the group. Chaliye, now let's read out the questions. We have to cover around 50 questions today, so we are going to hurry up. We are going to take it forward, right? Chaliye. Every year, the Reserve Bank of India publishes its annual report offering insights into its financial performance, policy decisions, and economic assessments. A key component of this report is RBI's balance sheet, which reflects the central bank's asset, liabilities, income, and expenditures. One of the most closely tracked elements of this section is the surplus transfer to the government, which influences the union budget's fiscal calculation. So, RBI transfers the surplus to the government. The prescribed framework governs the principles behind the surplus. In financial year 25, a historic increase in the CRB was observed, reflecting prudential strengthening. I had taken up a class, separate YouTube class on this CRB, the revised CRB, right? Reflecting prudential strengthening. Additionally, funds earmarked for internal infrastructure and institutional capacity building are maintained. Together, these elements reflect the RBI's dual responsibility of safeguarding monetary stability while supporting fiscal requirements. Now, the first three questions are based on this paragraph. Let's read out the question over here, and I want you all to give me the number of the question also. For example, 1A, B, C, whatever. Okay? And I want you to give me quick answers. So, first question for today, in the context of central banking operations, fiscal monetary coordination often comes into play through mechanisms such as surplus transfers. How much surplus did Reserve Bank of India transfer to the Government of India for financial year 25, marking a record high? 2.86 lakh crore, 2.60 lakh crore, 2.98 lakh crore, 2.69 lakh crore, or 2.88 lakh crore? What is the answer? All of you, I want quick answers from each one of you over here. What is the answer? Lakshit and John have given me the answer. There's another John. A, D, C. Is there someone who wants to give B and E also as the answer? Because I've got A as the answer, I've got D as the answer, I've got C as the answer. Now Sampath is also saying A. Anybody else? What about Venkat Sai? What about Rahul? So the correct option is 2.69 lakh crore. Only John got it right. So D is the correct answer. What is the answer? 2.69 lakh crore. Nahi yaad hai? Learn it right now. How much has been transferred? 2.69 lakh crore. Okay? ठीक है? Yes, Rahul, absolutely correct. Second question, RBI submits its annual report each year as a part of its statutory responsibility. This report provides a detailed review of macroeconomic trends and operational highlights of the central bank. Under which section of the RBI Act is the annual report submitted to the central government? Section 48, Clause 1, Section 52, Clause 3, Section 35, Clause 2, Section 53, Clause 2, or Section 49, Clause 4? Good evening, Mukund. अच्छा राहुल, चलिए बताइए, what is the answer to this second question, all of you? Mukund has given me the answer. John Samuel has given me the answer. Anurag and Sampath have also given me the answer. Somebody saying A, B, D, D. Section 52, clause 3, Mukund is saying. Rahul is also saying D. The correct answer is B. It is section 52, clause 3. So answer is B. ठीक है? It is under 52, section 52, clause 3. ठीक है? चलिए. Which prescribed framework is mentioned in the para that governs the principles behind this surplus? Central banks maintain risk stock to absorb potential financial shocks without undermining their credibility. In India, the framework used to determine risk provisioning and surplus transfer is known as what? Is it known as the monetary capital framework, the economic liquidity framework, liquidity adjustment framework, capital buffer framework, or economic capital framework? Very easy question. The easiest question till now. What is it? Third question. Only Mukund has given me the answer as of now. ECF, EC, Anurag is saying E, John Samuel is saying C. The correct answer is E. It is the economic capital framework. ठीक है? You might have read about the Bimal Jalan committee recommendations. है ना? This is related to that only, economic capital framework. ठीक है? It is the economic capital framework. Though those who have taken up classes from me, we have done this in detail. है ना? Go revise that chapter, banking sector wala. Fourth question. The balance sheet of a central bank reflects the outcome of its monetary operations, currency issue, and reserve management functions. Changes in its size indicate shifts in monetary assets, liabilities, and income expenditure dynamics. By what percentage did the Reserve Bank of India's balance sheet grow in financial year 25 as compared to the previous year? 7.35%, 9.15%, 6.5%, 7.6%, or 8.20%? Question number 4. हाँ, Bimal Jalan committee, exactly. Yes, Mukund. हाँ जी, what is the answer? 8.20. Today Mukund is really bugged up and giving me फटाफट से answer है ना? 8.20. Mukund is saying. What about others? John Samuel is also saying E. Rahul is also saying E, which is absolutely correct. Good evening, Anurag. Yes, it is 8.20%. ठीक है, balance sheet size increased by 8.20% year on year as of March 31, 2025. Central banks maintain contingency reserves to manage financial stability risks arising from external shocks, valuation changes, and operational contingencies. The Reserve Bank of India, in alignment with its economic capital framework, reviewed its risk provisioning for financial year 25. What was the revised contingency risk buffer? What is the revised CRB maintained by RBI for financial year 25? 6.5%, 5.5%, 7%, 4.5%, or 7.5%? Acha Mukund. Nice. Hanji, what is the answer for fifth question? E 7.5. Yukti has also given me 7.5 as the answer. So the correct answer is 7.5%. ठीक है? It was increased from 6.5% to 7.5% of RBI's balance sheet in financial year 25, reflecting enhanced provisioning for future risks. Right? So it is 7.5%. 6.5 से we have increased to 7.5%. अभी इसको याद कर लो. Okay? Apart from risk buffers, central banks allocate internal sources for long term institutional development. One such internal reserve maintained by RBI is aimed at financing its own infrastructure and capacity building needs. Which fund maintained by RBI is used for its internal capital expenditure and institutional development? Internal capital. Capital Reserve Fund, Monetary Stability Fund, Asset Development Fund, Fiscal Stability Buffer, Internal Investment Reserve. Sixth question. E. Asset Development Fund. C. Anurag is saying D. Anurag Singh is saying A. John is saying C. The correct answer is C. Asset Development Fund. So all those who gave me C as the answer, Yukti, Lakshit, John, Mukund, absolutely correct. Rahul, correct. Okay, it is Asset Development Fund. Okay. Seventh question. The balance sheet of RBI reflects its monetary, financial, and reserve management operations. The overall size of the balance sheet is a key indicator of central banking activity and financial system liquidity. What was the total size of RBI's balance sheet as on March 31, 2025, as per its annual report? 76.25 lakh crore, 77.1 lakh crore, 75.88 lakh crore, 74.64 lakh crore, 78.3 lakh crore. What is the answer? All of you, quickly write down in the comment section the answer for question number 7. So I have 76.25 as the answer. E. The correct answer is 76.25. तो मुकुंद का डाउटफुल वाला आंसर भी सही है ना, 76.25 लाख करोड़. So all those who have given me 76.25 or A as the answer, that is absolutely correct. Rahul, John, Anurag, Mukund, absolutely correct. Which of the following are the sources of income for Reserve Bank of India? Buying and selling foreign currency, buying and selling government bonds, pension fund management, lending to private companies. You have to select the correct answer. Sources of income for RBI: 1 and 2 only, 2, 3 and 4 only, 1, 3 and 4, 2 and 3 only, all of the above. Question number 8. Eighth, A. The correct answer is A, 1 and 2 only. So, buying and selling foreign currency, buying and selling government bonds, pension fund management. No, it is not the source of income, because pension fund wala is your retirement benefit, that you get, है ना? So, pension fund management nahi. Then lending to private companies. No, this is also not a source of income. This is an expenditure, है ना? It's not a source of income, especially to private companies. This is not the source of income for RBI, right? ठीक है. Okay. चलिए. Banking sector performance is a crucial indicator of financial stability. Improvements in asset quality reflect effective supervision, prudent lending, and economic recovery. One key metric used to assess this is the gross non performing asset ratio. What was the GNPA ratio of scheduled commercial banks as of March 2025? 3.1%, 2.8%, 3.6%, 2.4%, or 2.1%? What's the answer? 2.3 is not in the option, Anurag. The correct answer is 2.8% B. ठीक है, yes, Mukund, absolutely correct. Not 2.4%. The answer is 2.8%. ठीक है, as per annual report, gross NPA ratio of SEBs declined to 2.8%, reflecting improved asset quality across the banking sector. Right? 10th question. Foreign exchange reserves are a key component of a country's macroeconomic stability. Adequate reserves help cushion against external shocks, support the currency, and maintain investor confidence. What was the level of India's forex reserves at the end of March 2025? Forex reserves: $668.3 billion, $649 billion, $701.6 billion, $634.5 billion, or $676 billion. Question number 10. 668, 10C, 701. John is saying 10 A. Rahul says A. Anurag is saying A. Lakshit is saying C. The correct answer is A. It is $668.3 billion. Okay. Remember, this is of as of end March 2025. Okay. Chali, with the rapid digitization of payment systems, India has emerged as a global leader in real time payments. The UPI platform in particular has transformed the domestic payment landscape and continues to grow in international recognition. What was UPI's share of global real time payment volume in 2024 as reported by RBI? 36.2%, 52%, 41.7%, 48.5%, 43.9%. What is the answer? 11, 48.5, you're saying C. Rahul is saying C. John is saying D. The correct answer is D, 48.5%. ठीक है, I want everybody answering. ठीक है, जल्दी जल्दी से everybody has to answer. 12th question. Despite global uncertainties, India's macroeconomic fundamentals remain robust. Real GDP growth serves as a barometer for national economic performance and global competitiveness. What was India's real GDP growth in financial year 25, making it the fastest growing major economy? 6.1%, 6.5%, 5.8%, 6.9%, 7.2%. What is the answer? Question number 12. 7.2, 6.5, 12B. The answer is 6.5%. Absolutely correct. Chalo, now let's read out this paragraph, and 13 to 17 questions are based on this. Okay, so GVA, gross value added. So you guys tell me the how is GVA calculated? How do you calculate GVA? Can anyone tell me the formula? Write down in the comment section and tell me till I read this. So GVA serves as a critical measure in understanding the real contribution of different sectors of the economy. It is widely used in assessing the performance, offering a sector-wise breakdown that helps policymakers identify growth drivers and bottlenecks. GVA forms the backbone of national income accounting and is essential in framing monetary and fiscal policies. Over the years, it has gained prominence alongside GDP in official reporting due to its sectoral specificity and clarity in economic evaluation. Tracking changes in GVA over time reveals structural trends such as shifts in sectoral dominance or vulnerability to external shocks. It is particularly valuable in analyzing the health of core sectors. The annual report of RBI, regularly highlights GVA performance to provide insights into into economy's growth trajectory and effectiveness of various policy interventions. Right. So we have the 13th question based on this paragraph. Gross value added is one of the key macroeconomic indicators used to assess the performance of different sectors within an economy. It helps in understanding the actual contribution of various sectors without accounting for indirect taxes or subsidies. Which of the following best defines GVA? Total market value of all goods and services produced in an economy. GDP adjusted for current account and capital account balances. Government expenditure plus consumption expenditure. Net exports plus fiscal deficit of the economy, or value of output minus intermediate consumption. 13th question. Absolutely correct. Value of output minus intermediate consumption. This is how you calculate the GVA. ठीक है? Despite global headwinds, the Indian economy exhibited resilience. By what percentage did India's GVA grow in financial year 24-25? 6.4%, 5.9%, 7.1%, 6.8%, or 5.2%? 14th question. India's GVA growth in financial year 24-25. 6.4, 5.9, 7.1, 6.8, or 5.2%? So John and Anurag have given me A as the answer, which is absolutely correct. 6.4%. ठीक है? चलिए. Different sectors contribute variably to the economy's gross value added. Growth trends in these sectors signal areas of resilience and drag in the economy. Which sector registered the highest GVA growth in financial year 25? Agriculture and allied activities, industry, manufacturing, services, or mining and quarrying. Question number 15. Anurag has said E as the answer. Lakshit is saying D. John Samuel is saying 15D, sorry. Rahul D. Mukund services D. The correct answer is services, absolutely correct. Okay? The agriculture sector continues to support rural employment and food security. Its performance is key to inflation management and rural demand. What was the GVA growth for the agriculture and allied sector in financial year 25? 3.9%, 4.6%, 5.2%, 4.1%, or 3.4%? 16th question. D 4.1, 3.4. John is saying A 3.9. The correct answer is 4.6%. So nobody gave me the correct answer. है ना? Only Mukund said 4.6%. Right. GVA trends reveal shifts in sectoral performance and productivity. While services continue to expand, one particular industrial segment dragged down the overall GVA. What was the main reason for the sharp decline in industry GVA during financial year 25? Mining slowdown, electricity output contraction, construction sector slump, manufacturing sector, infrastructure bottlenecks. Question number 17. 17 construction, A or C, C, A. The correct answer is D, manufacturing sector deceleration. So Anurag gave me D as the answer, which is absolutely correct. Okay? So it is manufacturing sector deceleration. The industrial GVA slowdown in financial year 25 was largely attributed to the decline in the performance of the manufacturing sector, not construction. ठीक है? हाँ, E बच गया है ना? The answer is D, manufacturing sector. ठीक है? So you can see over here what was the performance in 24-25. They have asked in financial year 25 main reason for sharp decline in industry GVA, manufacturing sector में. ठीक है? 4.3. Geopolitical tensions and tariff uncertainties are increasingly shaping global trade outlooks. RBI has incorporated adjusted assumptions to reflect current realities. What is the projected contraction in global merchandise trade volume in 2025 under the adjusted scenario? 0.4%, 1%, 0.5%, 0.8%, or 0.2%? John has given me E as the answer. What about you, Anurag, Rahul, Prashant, Lakshit, John Samuel, Mukund? Alright, so the correct answer is 0.2%, not 0.5%. ठीक है, not D 0.8%. The answer is 0.2%. Answer is E. Nobody gave me E as the answer. Only Shubham gave me E as the answer, and John Samuel also gave me E as the answer, right? 0.2%. Okay, next questions 19 to 23 based on this paragraph. Let's quickly read it out. Environmental and sustainability rankings are playing an increasingly vital role in shaping global investor sentiment and policy collaboration. ESG considerations become central to investment decisions. A country standing in global climate indices serves as a benchmark of its commitment to sustainable development. These rankings not only reflect progress in renewable energy adoption, carbon emissions control, and climate resilience, but also influence access to green capital and global partnerships. India has emerged as a key player in this space, consistently improving its position in international climate performance assessments. Through various government led initiatives focused on clean energy, electric mobility, green infrastructure, and responsible resource usage, India has demonstrated a growing alignment with global sustainability goals. Such advancements not only improve environmental outcomes but also enhance India's credibility and attractiveness as a long term investment destination. So, question 19. Let's read it. Companies and investors globally are increasingly focusing on non financial factors to evaluate corporate sustainability and ethical impact. ESG is one such widely used framework in reporting and investment decisions. What does ESG stand for in corporate sustainability reporting? Very easy. Environmental strategy and governance, economic society and governance, environmental social and growth, environmental social and governance, environmental security and growth. Question number 19. What's the answer? ESG. All of you are saying D, which is absolutely correct. Environmental, social, and governance. D is the correct answer. Okay, very good. Sustainability rankings are increasingly influencing investor confidence and global partnerships. India's performance and climate indices showcases its environmental progress. What was India's rank in the Climate Change Performance Index of 2025? Among top 20, top 15, top 10, top 5, or ranked 11th? Top 10, Mukund is saying. Shubham is saying C, top 10. Alright, so everybody is saying C, top 10, which is absolutely correct. Electric mobility is a key area under India's climate strategy. Adoption targets under national schemes guide policy decisions and investor interest. What is the electric vehicle adoption target under the PM e-drive scheme for 2030? 25%, 35%, 25%, 40, 20, or 30%? Whenever you're writing the answer, please mention the question number, okay? Absolutely correct. It is 30%. Very good. In India, listed companies are required to disclose their responsibility related performance under a prescribed reporting framework. This is part of broader efforts to integrate non financial disclosures into corporate governance. What is the full form of BRSR as mandated for prescribed listed companies in India? Business Responsibility and Strategy Report, Board Responsibility and Stakeholder Report, Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report, Business Reporting and Social Responsibility, Balanced Reporting on Stakeholders and Risks. 22nd question. Everybody is saying C, which is absolutely correct. Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report. Very good. Now consider the following statements. This is question number 23. The Reserve Bank of India mandates all listed companies in India to submit a BRSR. In India, companies submitting BRSR makes disclosures in the report that are largely non-financial in nature. Which of the statements given above are correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. Question number 23. B, B, D, B. Most of you are saying B as the answer, which is absolutely correct. Two only. Okay? The G20 presidency rotates among member countries, enabling diverse economies to shape the global agenda. Which country took over the G20 presidency from India? Brazil, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, Argentina, South Korea. Very easy question again. 24th question. Absolutely correct. It is Brazil. Okay? Brazil is the correct answer. India's export performance uh, uh, tepid in remained tepid in financial year 25, remained tepid in financial year 25, reflecting subdued global demand and commodity price effects. By what percentage did merchandise exports grow in financial year 25? When we talk about merchandise, we talk about the goods, right? 0.1%, 0.5%, minus 0.4%, 2.8%, or minus 1.3%. 0.1, A. Everybody is saying A, which is absolutely correct. 0.1%. India's merchandise exports posted marginal growth. Question number 26. India is promoting the use of INR in cross border trade to reduce dollar dependence and enhance financial sovereignty. With which countries has India signed MOUs for local currency settlement to promote INR internationalization? Maldives and Mauritius, Maldives and Nepal, Mauritius and UAE, Singapore and Mauritius, Maldives and Malaysia. Question number 26. 26 A. All of you are saying A, which is absolutely correct. Maldives and Mauritius. ठीक है? Trade imbalances are key contributors to current account dynamics and external vulnerability. What was India's merchandise trade deficit in financial year 25? Goods trade deficit. $276.4 billion, 263 billion dollars, $269.3 billion, $291.5 billion, $282.8 billion. What's the answer? The answer is E, $282.8 billion. ठीक है, E is absolutely correct. India's trade deficit in financial year 25 was significantly influenced by certain groups. A sharp rise in imports of specific goods widened the overall trade gap. Among these, one category stood out as the major contributor to the deficit. Which of the following accounted for 43.3% of India's total trade deficit in financial year 24-25? Electronic goods, gold, fertilizers, oil, machinery, and transport equipment. Question 28. B or D? D. Shubham is saying D. What about others? Anurag is saying D. Rahul also D, which is absolutely correct. Oil. ठीक है? चलो. Post-pandemic fiscal expansion has left many economies with elevated debt ratios. RBI highlighted long-term debt sustainability risks. According to the report, global public debt to GDP ratio is projected to approach what level by 2030? 90%, 110%, 95%, 100%, or 105%? What is the answer? You guys are saying D, which is absolutely correct. 100%. Very good. Asset monetization helps unlock capital value from government infrastructure, aiding fiscal and growth targets. How much is the second asset monetization plan from 2025 to 30 expected to mobilize? 6 lakh crore, 8 lakh crore, 9.5 lakh crore, 10 lakh crore, or 12 lakh crore? What is the answer? Question number 30. How much is the second asset monetization plan expected to mobilize? Shubham is saying B. John is saying D. Anybody else? The correct answer is D, 10 lakh crore. So, John got it right. 10 lakh crore. 31st question. To enhance efficiency in cross border retail payments, India has been participating in international collaborations focused on instant fund transfer mechanisms. One such initiative is designed to link multiple national fast payment systems in real time. Which multilateral initiative did RBI join to enable instant cross border retail payments across ASEAN countries and India? BharatNet, UPI Global, Project Nexus, Swift Connect, or InstaPay Asia? All of you are saying C, which is absolutely correct. It is Project Nexus. ठीक है, RBI joined Project Nexus, which connects fast payment systems of Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and India for seamless cross-border payments. Absolutely correct. Then question 32 to 35 is based on this paragraph. Headline inflation in terms of the CPI trended down during 24-25, though the path of disinflation was interrupted by food price shocks. Can anyone tell me what is this headline? These words are here. Headline inflation. What is the meaning of headline inflation and what is disinflation? Quickly write down in the comment section and tell me. Keeping in view the inflation growth dynamics, the MPC changed the monetary policy stance from withdrawal of accommodation to neutral in October 24, that provided it the flexibility to monitor the progress and outlook on disinflation and growth and act in accordance with evolving situation. With inflation expected to moderate further during 25-26, MPC reduced the policy repo rate by 25 basis points, 6.25% in February 2025, after maintaining status quo on the policy repo rate since February 23 at 6.5%. During the year, system liquidity moved from surplus during July to November 24 to deficit during 24-25 February, before turning into surplus by March 2025. To ease potential liquidity stress, the CRR of banks was reduced by 50 basis points to 4% of NDTL in December 2024. So, question for you 32. Inflation management is central to RBI's policy framework. Headline inflation reflects overall price pressure and impacts interest rate decisions. What was the average headline CPI inflation in India during financial year 25? 5%, 4.6%, 4.2%, 3.9%, or 4.8%? 32nd question. Overall price change in total basket of goods is headline. Okay, Anurag. Headline include food and fuel, and disinflation is descending in inflation. So basically, when we talk about your headline inflation is the overall inflation. Everything, food, fuel, automobiles, everything. From headline inflation, if you subtract the volatile items like food, fuel, and energy, you get core inflation. Disinflation is negative trend in inflation. For example, not even negative trend, the rate of inflation is decreasing. Pehle it was increasing at 10%, now it is increasing at 8%. So inflation is there, but lesser than before. So what is the answer for 32nd question? B, E, C. You guys are saying B, E, or C. The correct answer is B, 4.6%. ठीक है, 4.6%. ठीक है, so only Anurag gave me the correct answer, which is 4.6%. Very, very good. Inflation dynamics in financial year 25 were shaped by a combination of supply side factors, monetary policy stance, and international commodity price movements. One specific component of inflation registered a decline, contributing to overall disinflationary pressures. Which component of inflation was deflationary in India during financial year 24-25? Agriculture inflation, food inflation, healthcare inflation, fuel inflation, or housing inflation? 33rd question. John has given me E as the answer. Shubham says D. Anurag has given me B as the answer. Anybody else? John is also saying food. The correct answer is fuel, D, which is your fuel inflation. ठीक है? हाँ, वही मुकुंद है ना? It is fuel inflation. It was deflationary at minus 2.5% in financial year 25. Right? Okay. 34th question. Energy prices significantly impact inflation, especially in developing economies. Fuel price trends play a role in deflationary or inflationary conditions. Fuel inflation was deflationary at 2.5% in financial year 25. What was the primary reason for this trend? Decline in petrol prices and coal prices, fall in transportation fuel taxes across the states, heavy increase in domestic fuel production resulting in falling prices due to excess supply, government subsidy expansion, reduction in LPG and kerosene prices. 34th. A or C? A. The correct answer is E. Reduction in LPG and kerosene prices due to softer global energy prices. So only John had given me the correct answer as E. है ना? चलिए. 35th question. To enhance transparency and improve the analytical use of price indicators, the Reserve Bank of India has upgraded the way it shares economic data. In a move aimed at improving accessibility and information dissemination, CPI diffusion indices have been made publicly available through a dedicated digital platform. Through which platform has RBI started disseminating CPI diffusion indices for broader public and analytical use? Central Inflation Monitoring System, Consumer Inflation Management System, Centralized Information Management System, Consolidated Index Monitoring System, or Core Inflation Metrics System? 35th question. The answer is C, Centralized Information Management System. ठीक है? Okay. Question number 36. During quarter 4 of financial year 24-25, RBI actively responded to evolving liquidity conditions in the banking system. With tight liquidity conditions emerging due to multiple factors, the central bank deployed a mix of conventional and innovative instruments to ease the stress and ensure smooth market functioning. What type of liquidity did the Reserve Bank aim to inject into the banking system through measures such as term repo, auctions, open market purchase operations, and uh, foreign exchange swaps during quarter 4 of 24-25? Durable liquidity, call money liquidity, temporary liquidity, structural liquidity, or passive liquidity? So the answer is durable liquidity. A is the answer, not temporary. ठीक है? हाँ, John Mukund, temporary liquidity. ठीक है? Sorry, durable liquidity, not temporary. ठीक है? Okay, चलिए. Liquidity conditions in the Indian financial system are influenced by various factors, including fiscal operations, capital movement, public demand for cash. In financial year 2024-25, RBI had to respond to evolving liquidity conditions caused by several systemic pressures that impacted overall money market dynamics. Which of the following were the major drivers of liquidity during financial year 24-25 as observed by the Reserve Bank of India? High credit growth, stable capital inflows, and low fiscal deficit, volatile capital flows, pickup in CIC, and rise in Government of India cash balances, reduction in repo rate, declining inflation, and fall in import bills, stable currency exchange rates, moderate fiscal deficit, and high savings rate, increase in FDI, lower crude oil prices, and consistent GST collections. हाँ, but they are durable also, है ना? They are durable. They are known as durable liquidity. ठीक है? तो swaps and open market operations, auctions and all काफी सारी चीजें included है ना इसमें. ठीक है मुकुंद? So the correct answer for question number 37 is B. So anybody who gave me B as the answer, Shubham and Mukund have given me B as the answer, which is absolutely correct. Volatile capital flows, pickup in currency in circulation, rise in Government of India cash balances. ठीक है? 38th question. Import dynamics in financial year 25 were influenced by higher domestic demand and elevated commodity prices. What was the growth in India's merchandise imports during financial year 25? 4.6%, 7%, 5.2%, 6.2%, 3.8%. What is the answer? हाँ Rahul, so you have to revise it because it is very very important, है ना? 38th question. D is absolutely correct, 6.2%. ठीक है, imports grew by 6.2% during financial year 25. चलो, foreign direct investment reflects long term investor confidence and strategic capital inflows. How much FDI inflow was recorded in India during financial year 25? $1.4 billion, $0.4 billion, $1.9 billion, $2.4 billion, or $0.9 billion? Shubham has given me B as the answer. What about others? Mukund, Rahul, John. John is saying A. The correct answer is B, $0.4 billion. ठीक है? Investments are more volatile than FDI and often react to macroeconomic expectations and global liquidity. What was the net foreign portfolio investment inflow in financial year 25? FPI $0.9 billion, $2.1 billion, $1.7 billion, $3.4 billion, $1.1 billion. 40th question. Here we are talking about FPI. The answer is C, $1.7 billion. तो जिसने भी 1.7 दिया है absolutely correct. John has given me the correct answer ना, $1.7 billion. 41st question. Price stability is one of the core mandates of RBI, and inflation targeting forms the cornerstone of its monetary policy framework. While various shocks affect price levels, headline inflation remained within a manageable range throughout financial year 25. What was the average CPI inflation during financial year 25 as reported by the Reserve Bank of India? 5.8%, 4.6%, 6.2%, 3.9%, or 4.2%? What is the correct answer for question number 41? Any guesses? Anyone? Shubham says D. John is saying 4. 41 4. B. Acha. 4.6. Uh, all of you saying B, which is absolutely correct. 4.6 is the correct answer. ठीक है? Question number 42. Liquidity management by central banks involves balancing short term and long term tools. During financial year 25, RBI actively deployed specific instruments to absorb transient liquidity surpluses from the system. Which tool was primarily used by RBI on a fine tuning basis to absorb excess liquidity during financial year 25? SDF, standing deposit facility, statutory liquidity ratio, variable rate reverse repo, cash reserve ratio, or fixed rate reverse repo. Question number 42. Mukund is saying variable rate reverse repo. Shubham C, Rahul also C. Anybody else? John A. The correct answer is C, variable rate reverse repo. ठीक है, RBI used VRR auctions frequently in financial year 25 to manage short-term excess liquidity in a calibrated manner. 43rd question. To enhance the effectiveness of its liquidity absorption operations, RBI recalibrated the maturity profile of its liquidity instruments in the second half of financial year 25. Which specific instrument was reintroduced by the RBI in second half of financial year 25 to better manage short-term liquidity conditions? 7-day term repo, standing liquidity facility, 91-day treasury bill auction, 14-day VRR auction, and liquidity adjustment facility. 43rd question. All of you are saying D, which is absolutely correct. 14-day VRR auctions. Right? Systemic liquidity during financial year 25 transitioned from surplus to deficit due to multiple macroeconomic fiscal developments. These shifts had implications for short term interest rates and monetary transmission. Which of the following were identified as key factors behind liquidity tightening in financial year 25? Increase in forex reserves and capital inflows, higher RBI dividend to government, GST outflows, rise in currency in circulation, and slowdown in government expenditure, open market operation purchases and GSEC redemptions, decline in bank credit growth, and increase in SLR holdings. What is the answer? 44th question. Key factors behind liquidity tightening in financial year 25. So many times we read it in the live mint analysis also. What is the answer? You guys are saying C, which is absolutely correct. GST outflows, rise in currency in circulation, slowdown in government expenditure. Right? 45th question. RBI continues to push for regulatory simplification and digitization to improve compliance and ease of doing business. for regulated entities. As part of this vision, a digital platform was introduced to streamline application submissions, which online portal made mandatory from 1st May 2025 is used by regulated entities to submit applications to RBI. Sahyog, Pravah, Sugam, Shakti, Sparsh. Very easy question. 45th. Which online portal from 1st May 2025 has been mandatory to be used by regulated entities to submit applications to RBI? Absolutely correct. It is the Pravah portal. When was it launched? May 24 and became mandatory for regulated entities from 1st May 2025. ठीक है? The pilot for India's digital currency initiative continued to evolve, particularly in the wholesale segment. This included broadening the participant base for greater market acceptance and testing of new use cases. In financial year 25, the scope of e-rupee wholesale pilot was expanded to include which additional market participants? NBFCs, urban cooperative banks, standalone primary dealers, insurance companies, or retail payment banks. SPD, C. Shubham and Mukund have given me the answer. Rahul is also saying C, which is absolutely correct. Standalone primary dealers. Priority sector lending remains a key focus of RBI to ensure financial outreach to underserved sectors. As of March 31, 2025, scheduled commercial banks collectively surpassed the mandated target under the scheme. What percentage of ANBC or CEOBSC was reported as SEBI's total priority sector lending as on March 31, 2025? 39.8%, 41.5%, 42.6%, 40%, or 43.1%? 47th, Rahul is saying C. Anybody else who would like to answer? Shubham is also saying C, which is not correct. It is 43.1%. So SCBs achieved 43.1% PSL, exceeding the mandated 40% threshold. ठीक है? Right. Credit flow to MSMEs is seen as vital for job creation and economic resilience. Financial year 25 saw continued efforts by the government and RBI to ensure better access to credit for MSMEs. By what percentage did scheduled commercial banks credit to the MSME sector grow in financial year 24-25? 14.8%, 13.2%, 16.1%, 12.5%, or 11.4%? Mukund says 11.4. Anybody else who would want to answer? Shubham also says 11.4, which is not correct. It is 14.8%. Okay? The SCB's outstanding credit to MSMEs rose by 14.8% year on year during financial year 25. Okay? So it's not 11.4%, it is 14.8%. No, Rahul, it is A. Okay? As part of its efforts to promote inclusive financial access and monitor progress across penetration, usage, and availability dimensions, the Reserve Bank continues to publish a composite index. What was the value of RBI's Financial Inclusion Index for March 2024? Again, very easy question. 59.7, 62.5, 64.2, 66.3, or 68.1? This so you should know. 49th question. Yukti is saying 64.2. Shubham C. Mukund Rahul also C, which is absolutely correct. So 64.2. So RBI's Financial Inclusion Index stood at 64.2 in March 2024, indicating moderate improvement in financial inclusion. Last question for today. To measure the extent of financial inclusion, RBI publishes a composite financial inclusion index. The index is based on three dimensions. Which component contributed the most to financial inclusion index score of 64.2%? Access, usage, quality, digital adoption, or literacy? Rahul and Sarfaraz have given me C as the answer. Quality. Anyone else? John Samuel says B, which is usage. Shubham B. Rahul also B, which is absolutely correct. So, usage among the three components, access, usage, and quality, usage had the highest contribution to financial inclusion index. Okay, okay, everyone. So, that is all from my side. If you guys want to connect with me on Telegram, Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. You can connect with me over here. ठीक है, is everything clear to all of you? I'm going to bring up another session related to these questions only, related to annual report only, and most probably I'll be taking it on Monday. Okay, so I want you all attending this class, download the PDF and revise these questions, revise your annual report also so that you can do better in the next class. ठीक है, all those who have forgotten, थोड़ा याद नहीं आ रहा, so revise your annual report, come back to the next class when I'm going to take it, and then give me correct answers. ठीक है? Okay, Rahul. So if there's any doubt you want to ask, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, I'm going to end the session here. I wish everyone all the best. Keep studying, and I hope you guys are preparing for your examination properly. Your exam is very near. Put in all the hard work that you can. Okay? Okay, Rahul. Fine then. Let's meet up in the next session. Bye bye for now, everyone. See you all in my next one.